Freedom of speech, the right to say what you want, when you want, without being fear of prosecuted or persecuted for your views, is a right that as Americans we have inherited in our Constitution, in the First Amendment, right? Increasingly now with these social media platforms and big tech having influence over that, they have now started to resort to censoring, right? And censoring and deplatforming and banning people is not freedom of speech. Now, some people might say, well, it's their platform, they have the right to choose what goes on and what doesn't. Well, if that's the case, then they should be bound by the rules of being a publisher. Because as a publisher, as an editor, you can pick and choose what goes on your platform, and you should also be bound by those same laws and regulations. But social media companies take a stance that we are free flowing communication, it's peer to peer, we're not responsible what goes on our website because it's user generated content. So if you are saying it's a user generated content, you shouldn't be allowed to take a role of a publisher and choose what goes on and what doesn't goes on. So I think personally, this whole thing of censoring, deplatforming people, banning people, removing people for holding a view that not might not jive with your own view is a very dangerous and slippery slope that we're going down towards, because all that's going to encourage is people who have these views, when they get banned, eventually they're going to create their own platform, right? So they're going to drift further apart. A good open and honest communication is somebody says something, you disagree with it, maybe they're completely wrong. You should be able to make your own content saying why they're wrong, why they're incorrect. Here are the facts. Comment below their post, right? Let them know. That way people can see both sides of the story and make their own decision. But when you start banning people, you start censoring people, what that will result in, people will create their own platforms where they can share their views, and people only just drift further apart. Now, this side has their own platform. It doesn't see what this side is talking about. And this side, well, they already banned these people, so they're not going to even see what they're talking about. So people are going to drift further apart. Lack of communication, lack of discussions, no discussions happening. It's just going to create further fringe groups, and people are going to basically just drift further apart. And that's going to lead down to a very dangerous road where people will be, fearful of sharing their opinions, right, on this site. So they will go on this side. And that's what creates factions of left and right. And when left and right move further apart, that's a recipe for disaster. I really think, and I really hope that social media platforms stop censoring and blocking communication. Let people have honest and open conversations. Let them share their views. And if you disagree with them, tell them why you disagree with them. Have open discussions rather than banning and censoring, because nothing good has ever come in the world from banning and censoring. All that results is people moving further and further apart.